Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And good news, we watched Mulan. We're fresh off of Mulan. We paid $30, so you don't have to.
That's right.
So lucky you. You can save your $30. We're going to talk about Mulan and how it stacks up to the original. We're going to talk about how the audience score is only 48%.
Yep.
At this point, but the critics seem to like it quite a bit. Apparently, Disney has found another infusion of cash.
Right. Well, it's Rotten Tomatoes, which we already know kind of leans to Disney's favor.
Yeah, you know, it really helps having your CEO be a former Disney executive to call in a favor every once in a while.
Right.
And they're not paying their cast members, so I guess they can throw some money at Mulan marketing, because this is what's going to save the company. This is going to save the company.
Well, so was Rise of Skywalker, and maybe say more.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how all the clickbait articles are spinning up now.
Oh, they really are.
That Mulan is a euphemism for LGBTQ representation. She just doesn't know it.
Yep. Yeah, no, I never got that. You know, I'm sorry. I never... I could see where maybe that could mean something to a person, you know, who they might relate to. I think everybody can relate to this in some way, and we'll talk about that later. So I can see why they would want it to be that way. But I never, ever got from this version or the first version that she was a trans one, one to actually be a dude, and that Shang was actually, you know, bi. Never got that. Ever. Yeah,
well, that's okay. He's been, they're talking about bi visibility month. He's not in the movie at all. So it doesn't really matter.
No, never got that.
There are a lot of changes to this movie compared to the original. I don't know. Where should we start? I
don't know.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah, but it's not Huns.
They're not Huns.
And it's not a dragon anymore.
Oh.
It's like I said to you. It's Crouching Phoenix, Invisible Dragon.
Yeah, Mushu is not in this movie.
He's so invisible. He's not even there.
This seems.
But there's a cricket.
But not a cartoon cricket. It's all over the place. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think the cartoon, despite having a talking dragon voiced by Eddie Murphy and having several musical numbers, the cartoon was actually more realistic.
Wait, why is the musical numbers a bad thing?
Because people don't just break out into song unless you're geeky.
Have you been to my house? I do it all the time.
But it's really kind of weird watching the movie without the musical numbers, because they sort of use the music to lighten the mood in the original. You know, because it did have some really dark. This is just all darkness.
I like the original better.
There's no humor at all.
It's another one of those. Why? There really isn't humor. Why are we doing this? Because it's pretty much the same thing all over again, but less good.
It's a demake. It's not a remake. Just like The Lion King before it, it is a demake. We take a great classic Disney animated movie, we strip out what made it great, and we throw it in the theaters, and we hope for $1 billion. Because
they just won't stop doing the stupid live-action remake thing. Just stop doing it. It's pointless and dumb. Just stop. But, I mean, I didn't hate the movie. I liked it more than you did.
I thought it was boring, and I thought it was trying very hard to be...
Our daughter made 5 minutes and then left.
Yeah, Pinky Boo. She wanted to see it so bad for weeks. She's like, I can't wait to see Mulan.
Well, I thought Squinking wanted to see it.
He
had no desire to see it.
He had no desire to see it. By the time it came out, we're already like, yeah, we're over it. But she lasted 3 minutes. Actually, I
think she lasted a little longer than that, but not much longer.
I checked out pretty much. I dipped in and out of it because I was working on some other videos. But the first 3 minutes, we have this scene with her as a kid, and it was so cringy. It was like cringy CGI.
The CG stuff's really bad in places.
Oh,
it's really bad.
I mean,
it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon kind of idea, but that's better.
Yes, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
It's like they're trying to get that idea across, but Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon did it better decades ago, or 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's been like 20 years. Yeah, it did. And that's kind of the feel that they're going for with this movie, is they're trying so hard to make it like realistic, but because the tone is so quote unquote realistic, when they do this these acrobatics and all the weird, it looks so ridiculous and out of place.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it would just be like, watching Lord of the Rings and then having Aragorn just like do like this, like triple front flip kick or something.
For no reason. You know, kick the sword out of someone's hand and then hit it in the air to stab somebody with.
Oh my
something.
God.
And plus, it was very. Well, let's go back to the first scene first of all. In this one, it isn't like the original animated film where, and honestly, the original story where she was just a regular person.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. She starts off that, probably spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear spoilers, turn it off now. We'll just do that. Turn it off now if you don't want to hear spoilers. And if you're still here, then you want to hear it. Okay, so she starts out with like, she's got these weird skills where she can flip and do all this weird stuff and like, crazy ninja skills when she's like, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be ninja because it's Chinese. So it'd be kung fu skills or whatever. And she does all this stuff she shouldn't be able to, do unless she's been training for years. And that's supposed to be because of her powerful chi.
She is basically a superhero.
She's like,
she's the chosen one.
She's like the Rey of Mulan.
Well, we said she was like the Chinese Elsa.
Elsa, that's even better. Chinese Elsa's even better.
Yeah, because she's gifted with power. She's got a sister that's pretty much...
Yeah, now she's a sister.
Now she has a sister.
And all that, and
she doesn't have a talking dragon.
The original Mulan, like she was clumsy and like she messed up with the matchmaker because she herself was clumsy and you could relate to it. This time it was because she was trying to save her sister from a spider, and because her sister's deathly afraid of spiders.
I found her to be sterile, like absolutely, like so ridiculously perfect. And yeah, like Mulan in the cartoon was relatable. I mean, it's sad when a 20-plus-year-old cartoon feels more realistic, again, with talking animals, than your $200 million big budget, epic.
I also thought it was funny they put it in a circular building, and then people were complaining the architecture wasn't correct. Well, I'll tell you why they did that. I'll bet you money. Because in Epcot, they have the Chinese pavilion, and in it, they have a movie theater that is circle vision, where you go all around. How perfect is that it was shaped circular, and they were panning the entire way around it like they were.
There were so many shots. There were so many shots in this movie where I'm like, yeah, that's the China pavilion in Epcot.
Yeah, it kind of was.
That's not actual China. That's
it felt like that pavilion. The whole intro was made to go into the Reflections of China show or something, at Epcot.
Well, they've got the song Reflection, so that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. I love Doug Walker from Channel Awesome, his review. Now, I want to talk about these reviews because they're cherry picking again. This is a Disney thing.
Yeah.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cash cow, dishonor on all these Disney remakes. Mulan deserves better.
I agree. I love Mulan. She's my favorites.
But look at, they're giving an 80% positive, but look at some of these positives. They're not good. They're really not good. It has the heart in the right place, but can't quite capture the magic of the animated predecessor. Satisfying but bumpy. These don't sound like glowing reviews.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are, some of them aren't. It is not as good as the first one. I'm not going to lie and say it is.
It's nowhere in the same league.
I always loved Mulan. I mean, I always have since, it first came out. And I was always upset because they never had Mulan stuff. They always have Disney princesses. They never have Mulan. And it always annoyed me. And I think, like, everybody can relate to this in some way, because, we've all been there. We're like, you're trying to hide who you really are because you're afraid your friends won't like you, or, you don't want, people to find out about your secrets, or that, you don't want them to be revealed, like some of the things you don't want revealed. Everybody understands that.
Well, there's a reason for that, according to Vox.
Oh my gosh, just this.
You're not just hiding your feelings. You're not hiding your personality.
You're not actually trying to protect your dad because you're the only child. Well, this one she's a sister, but in the original, she was the only child.
Yeah, which again, that complicates things, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's according to Vox. Mulan is trans.
Basically,
is that what they're saying?
If you boil it down, they complain about, her character's not written well because it's all done by cis people. Well, you don't start off with yelling about cis writers unless you're trying to make a point about it being some LGBTQ identity politics issue. Because for whatever reason, they keep saying that she's a trans person.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I was a little kid, true story, I used to hide my hair in my ball cap. I used to want to play ball. I used to not wear dresses. I used to. My dad was the aircraft mechanic at the airport. My mom would run the airport. So when I was little, we would do fly-ins and stuff, and I would like to tuck my hair into my hat, pretend I was a dude, and help my dad carry his tools. Which my dad didn't like, by the way, because he thought my mom would give me pixie cuts, and he hated it because he's like, she doesn't look like a girl. So anyway, I used to go like that to the airport and stuff and help my dad and do stuff because I was into the stuff that he was doing. But at the same time, like, I go home and play with Barbies and things like that. It wasn't like, because I wanted to do things that were like more boy-like, quote unquote. It didn't mean that I didn't want to be a girl anymore, and I didn't want to be straight or whatever. I wasn't cis because I wanted to do boy things.
Well, you've got bigger balls than me, so...
Sometimes. So, not all the time, but sometimes. But I'm just, this whole idea is because she goes and fights the war to save her dad, that does not mean that she wants to be a dude.
So here's the primary fault of the movie. It's not that the movie is boring. It's not that it's an unnecessary remake. It's not that it's ridiculous in places. The primary fault is a weak-minded, non-cohesive screenplay by 4 cisgender white people. And I spent the entire film being mad at all of them.
I spent this entire article being mad at you, so I guess that's fair.
Well, no, actually, I do agree with this take. The script is clunky, humorless, full of jarringly awkward exposition.
I agree. And that's something else I was going to point out. I think they mentioned that, that it's like a fanfic. It'd be fine if it was a fanfic.
If you hated the movie.
Right? No, but I'm saying that they rely on you, like, they said that you have to kind of know the original one.
Yeah.
And then there's characters that show up and you're like, well, what's their reason? You don't really get one.
No, it just seemed like, look, I'm going to tell you.
I'll give them that. That's true.
This movie, to me, felt like... it felt like it was designed to be a series of really pretty images to put into a trailer to get people to go.
Kinda.
Yeah, it was $200 million, which you can see they spent it on the scenery. They spent it. I mean, the production values.
It was pretty.
The production values are incredible, but the movie is boring. There's no humor. It is.
It's the first movie all over again, except they add some more characters and don't explain them.
It's a demake. They've completely demade the movie. So the weak writing issue makes Mulan's gender issues a lot messier.
But they do. Mulan doesn't need to work a narrative in the stories of trans non-binary identity to be successful. It's a great film, whether you read it as a trans man coming to embrace his identity or cisgender girl finding empowerment to be herself. Well, yeah, I agree with that. But, I mean, I never got the idea that she was trans. That she was a trans man. And especially from... You can tell you get that idea from this more than the original.
Yeah.
And even this one didn't have that.
Well, yeah, because the big thing is, they said Mulan's guilt over hiding her cis identity is what drives her big emotional shift.
No, it's because she's trying to pretend to be a dude so she can get killed.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know. I just was... God...
It goes on and on. It really does. It truly goes on for a long time.
Oh, it is a relief that the original film's stereotypical jokes, language, and characterizations have been excised. So it's good that we took out the offensive jokes.
It's good that we took out the funny things.
That kind of made the original work. But we got rid of the kind of the humanity of this movie. It felt that's what it felt. It felt robotic. It felt like I could just see just like on South Park, I could see the CCP writing notes to Disney, like, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
Make sure we get across that the witch is bad, because that whole sorcery thing is bad.
Oh, yeah, they kept stressing. Magic's bad. Magic, evil, bad, bad, bad. Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah. So we can put a sorceress or a witch in the movie as long as we make sure that she's a bad guy and it's not a good thing. Yeah, so there are some things that were just like, I just felt like they were getting liner notes from the CCP.
I don't know. All I know is
this one.
It was unnecessary. It was really unnecessary. It was pretty much the same movie all over again, just not done as well. Yeah. At least in the original, Mulan was, a regular person learning to do something. In this one, it was like, you said she was like the Chinese Elsa.
Yeah.
And, keep your power hidden, keep it hidden. I don't know.
Yeah, she only gets her mojo or her chi when she sheds her male identity and embraces her boobs.
Yeah, that's when I get my chi.
Because actually, it was taping. I'm spoiling this movie for you guys. She lives to fight another day because she taped her boobs down, but she came back as a fierce fighting female.
That's right.
And then just oopsie doopsie find out she was a woman, which
Yeah, but see, but that was, I think that was better when it was that they found out because she was still trying to hide who she was. I thought that was better than then I guess I'm just gonna come out and tell you I'm a woman, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is all about
girl power.
Girl power, yeah. Girl power, I'm a woman. And even the witch, it's like, you be the woman I could never be.
Yeah.
I'm dead. We already said we're going to spoil it.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know.
It's like...
It's not terrible.
It's not. I mean,
I didn't think it was as bad as you did. I actually didn't hate it. But I did. I love the original more.
The original's, like we were talking before, the original is an underrated classic. There were actually a lot of underrated... There was this, like, period of time in Disney animation in the late 90s and early 2000s where... Disney had these movies that weren't like huge hits like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, but they were really good movies that people years later still look at and say, hey, they were great. Mulan, Hercules, I would even say Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, that's a good Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove, that they're starting to find, I guess, a new audience, more appreciation now than they had when they were in the theaters, and they didn't make a whole lot of money back then, because then we got Home on the Range. Don't talk about that. Oh, God, if they do a live action Home on the Range.
Brother Bear? No.
Brother Bear? What? Yeah, it was okay.
I'm just mentioning other ones you didn't know.
Yeah, but Mulan definitely is, I think Mulan and Hercules are really big ones right now. Again, because you have all the 90s kids that want the nostalgia. And, to just kind of do a half-assed version of it, it just, I don't know.
I mean, it was pretty.
It was a very pretty movie.
The action scenes were really cool.
I can say that. But
the way that they end the bad guys is just okay. It's really like what? It was just.
So they're talking that people are boycotting it now because Li Shang isn't in it. Boycott it because it costs $30. And you've already seen a better version of this movie. Yeah,
honestly, it's going to be out on Disney Plus. So you don't have to pay $30.
2 months, yeah.
December 4th, I think, as they said it was going to be. So it's like you don't have to wait like 3 months, I guess. You get it right. Do your math. 3 months.
I don't can't math anymore.
It's just, I mean...
Let's refresh this and see if anybody else is... Oh, now it's...
it's going up all of a sudden.
Oh, my God. It stayed there forever at 80%. Now it's up to 53%.
That's a little weird.
But still gets a vomit bucket. Well, I guess that's popcorn. It could be vomit.
Vomit bucket?
Barfing.
It wasn't. I mean, it's not terrible. But it's not, I'd spend $30 on this either.
Yeah, Disney, if this is your plan to save the company this year, you're screwed. I'm supposed to tell you you're screwed because this isn't going to do it. This ain't it, man. This ain't it.
No. So, like, what would you even rate this?
Rate it? 4.
Oh, you're doing a scale of what, 10?
Yeah.
I was thinking A, B, C, D, whatever.
I would give it a 4. I would give it a C. I would give it 2 fishies out of 5 fishies.
2 fishies out of 5 fishies. Yeah, I think I'd probably do like a B- or C.
A B- or a C.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible, but the first movie's so much better. If I had to choose, I'd pick the first one.
Yeah, this is one. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. If I never see this movie again, I'm okay with that.
See, I'd watch it again.
I wouldn't watch it again.
But I don't know. I would watch the first one more, if that makes sense.
Oh, the first one's a classic. It never gets old.
I love that movie.
Yeah. But this one, nah.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll wrap it up then.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.